early on in the ideation phase of BankSocial, there was a want. I've always had this inside of me. There was a want to help people. And typically, at least in today's day and age, the best tool is technology. We want to build things that are regulated, that are safe, that are secure, that are long-standing, that people can rely on. It was in that combination of thoughts and requirements, really, for myself and the idea that I was putting in front of us to say, where does this live? Where is this best embodied? And that was when credit unions and kind of community cooperative-based financial institutions came into quick focus and became the passion point of what we're building here.
Well, I'm a credit union person. I've been in the credit union space for 25 plus years. And I met John Wingate on January 1st, I think, of 2022. I've worked with him ever since I joined BankSocial in 2023. But my journey up until then really had to do with technology. And I've always been a very forward-thinking CEO. The credit unions where I've worked have always been considered forward-moving and forward-looking. And technology's always been a part of everything that I do.
You know, we had fun putting this together with some like-minded partners for the convergence of AI with financial interests, education, fintechs. And what we found was a lot of affinity for the idea to take these siloed sectors and put them together in kind of a meaningful way.
When we understood that there was not just an opportunity, but a willingness for, member-owned cooperatives, whether they're, analog or digital or a combination of the two, to innovate, to come together and to build a new future together, the concept of Converge was born. And we always knew that outside of just a place, we've done several of these in-person gatherings where we've had, I think, up to 80, 90, 100 people come in to our space in a very intimate way and listen to some of the best thinkers, the best entrepreneurs.
I heard about BankSocial through a community network, and that's when I reached out to John, and then we started talking about possible opportunities, and I found out that the opportunity that was there was perfect and it aligns with what I wanted to do.
What makes BankSocial different for me is really that it's community driven and it's built on blockchain. So as far as it being built on blockchain, that's a game changer. It's really about trust and security and really the next level of the future of finance.
What excited me about working for BankSocial was the opportunity to work with different technologies and learn different technologies. I've had years of experience working with physical hardware, and being able to move into the cloud and experiment with that has been really awesome.
I always love small companies and the personalities that you get to work with in those small companies, and then when you add that with what we're building and the vision of the product suite, it's really exciting.
I came to BankSocial because I've worked with John and for a while. I've worked with Phil, the head of engineering, on and off a couple of projects. Always been looking for what's the next greatest thing that I can do to help out.
I think what strikes me as being the most awesome thing about working here at BankSocial is we are taking things from idea to product delivery in a very short period of time.
We're lucky to have probably one of the most future-thinking, accommodating, embracing, loving communities, consumer communities that I think I've ever seen. We're dealing in a space where we're pushing boundaries, coming back to creating things from scratch that have never been built. one thing about credit unions, first off, I call them analog DeFi because they already are decentralized finance.
We talked earlier about looking at data and looking at what your members are actually doing. We also discussed the fact that members are probably not going to come directly to you to ask you to have a cryptocurrency offering at your credit union, but you can get an idea, an inkling of what your members want based on the transactions.
I used to talk a lot about how crypto and credit unions have this matching ethos, but then you kind of get lost in, well, what does crypto really mean? And I don't think we need to talk about that. It's more about what credit unions are. They're analog DeFi. They're already DeFi. And now we're building the technologies and the solutions to turn them into that digital DeFi experience.
Non-interest income is a way for a credit union to make income or revenue outside of interest income, which is generally loans or investments. And all credit unions are looking to increase that. And by offering all of the BankSocial products, actually, you, as a credit union, do receive a revenue share. For the wallet specifically, that revenue share is around transaction volume.
We are about to launch, and I won't talk about with which credit unions we're about to launch it with, the digital wallet, our embedded digital wallet. So on the day that we kind of made a quasi-announcement, our call centers and our solution kind of customer service teams were bombarded with questions and really excitement about, wait, what did I just hear? Did I hear that I'll be able to open my digital banking app and move my crypto into it and move my crypto out of it and send it and receive it? But then also, if I need to make a mortgage payment, I could sell that directly into my fiat bank account, or if I wanted to acquire some digital asset, I can do that directly from my bank account in my digital. What? Where do I get that? How do I get that?
Everybody wants to talk about, well, what's the risk if we do adopt some of these emerging technologies without really understanding what it is that we're getting into? And one of the things that Kyle Hopman says all the time is there's going to be failures. We're going to have lessons learned. Certainly by doing the best we can to mitigate the risks that we're aware of, we can minimize those failures. But at the end of the day, we have to fail in order to learn and in order to grow.
When we look at what the digital wallet really means, it's the gateway to the future of what this new economy is going to be. And when you talk about how that functions, it functions in every way that a traditional wallet could. It has your ID in it, right? It's got your credit cards in it. It might have loyalty cards, right? There's so many different things that a digital wallet, a digital experience can offer.
Credit unions and their boards are concerned, but also curious about emerging technology and how it's going to impact not only the finance industry, which includes banking, but the credit union industry specifically, which frankly is shrinking. The banking industry is shrinking as well. And credit unions, believe it or not, tend to be early adopters of emerging technology because at the end of the day, credit unions are required to do what's best for their members.
Think about how consumer behavior is changing. Consumers are requiring consistently evolving technology, and that is in our space too.
In terms of evolution, I see credit unions in particular are moving towards a much more frictionless, personalized banking experience. Right? The goal here is to predict at some point what our members need before they even think of it. So that's really our long-term goal, is to get to that point. And then I also think about, just the credit union industry in general. The credit union industry is really, frankly, just starting on that path. And some credit unions are further ahead than others. Some banks are further ahead than others. But it's important for us to get ahead of it and continue to offer digital solutions with integration and technology, with automation that drive that change towards the future. So it's important for us to evolve to get that story out, because we truly align with the values of most Americans, right? If we can align that and really make sure that the average consumer understands that while credit unions will offer all that, we also are doing so much for the greater good of every single consumer across the country.
If you're relying on the world of cash and check as the dominant player for your members, you're going to lose. It's not just tokenization, it's digital assets, it's digital asset exchange. How do consumers get to control their assets now in a way that is entirely different than tradition would suggest, in areas where they couldn't get help from someone else and make it available?
So BankSocial is truly revolutionizing payments, money movements, really just financial ecosystems overall. So BankSocial has developed a financial ecosystem that gives everybody access, fair access to financial tools that very much aligns with what we here at Great Lakes Credit Union have done.
What they're doing with their exchange and their evolution of thought as it relates to how a credit union can function and how we can work inside of the community to help them serve the underserved is just game changing. So how do you make it possible for the new generations of people that are looking for more digital experience and less physical experience to still engage with your credit union, get that same community service? That's what BankSocial is making available to us in a very secure way, so that you don't have to worry about, are my members going to lose their money? They don't just provide you service. They provide you service, and they provide you education, and they provide you partnership. So what are they doing? They are trying to solve problems you don't even know you have. They're thinking about how to use technology in ways well beyond a digital asset exchange to build an environment where the community that we serve can get incredible value from us.
So we set up RTP, so real-time payments, through the clearinghouse with BankSocial, almost as that liaison to help us to provide a service to our members where they're now able, if they work in, like, say, the gig economy, if they're Uber workers, if they work for Lyft, if they work for DoorDash, there's a lot of different merchants. Well, our members now that work for those gig workers, they're now receiving their paychecks immediately. That's a huge benefit for our members.